Thank you for watching BlaXit. Please subscribe to our channel BlaXit, smash that like button and share everywhere.
Honourable Suleiman Saho. And I'd like to say thank you to all of our highly esteemed guests that are here today, our special guests. I'd like to thank you for coming. And yes, today is a symposium, and the purpose behind the symposium is really about sharing of information. That's what a symposium is about. And so it's the first of its kind here in terms of focusing in on the transatlantic slave trade and us as homecomers. And so I would like to thank the media, all the media houses, for coming here today as well on a Sunday, and all of the honourable members from their various constituencies for also coming and honouring us with their presence. We are, feeling very ingratiated by your presence, and all the guest speakers as well. So I'm going to speak to automatic citizenship because it's something that has, I think, in some ways been misunderstood, and in some ways I think the benefits of it have been not seen as they should be seen. So automatic citizenship and what it means to me and what it means to a lot of us African descendants whose ancestors were enslaved and taken out of Gambia. There was an average of 5,000 Gambians were enslaved every single year. And we are the descendants of those Gambians which were taken away out of the 5,000 every year. Imagine that for over 200 years. So that would nearly amount to nearly half of your population being taken out of the Gambia. So I am one of the few, very few with my family, that have been able to even make the journey back to return and to make the Gambia our home. And so we're not so much as strangers. Well, who we are is family returning. And it's a family reunion more than it is at any other thing. So I'm going to quickly speed through. In order to understand automatic citizenship, I wrote a poem, and I thought that was the best way of delivering it so everybody could understand maybe where I'm coming from, because it's not so political as it is aspirational. It's a proposal, and that proposal is that it's a 2-year integration, initiation and assimilation program. So it's 2 years, and within that 2 years we would learn the language, learn the culture, be integrated into families and societies. But other people are going to talk to that in the unification and integration section of today's symposium. So I have written a poem called Automatic Citizenship. So with your permission, may I continue? May I? Jeff. So I'll just start by saying Nangadef, and also Jarama, and Kasumai Keb, and Abinyadi. So greetings to everybody. I will now begin. So automatic citizenship, what is it? What does it mean? Is it a new concept on the scene? Let's start with words, one by one, and break it down letter by letter so we can understand it better. A is for Africa, the place we belong. U is for unity, for Africans worldwide as one. T is for togetherness, because we all need each other to progress, to go on. O is to overcome the pain of our separation by slavery and disharmony. M is for money, as reparations time has come and will never be gone. A is for our aim. We must have mutual aims for our betterment. Our aim is for us all to be automatically African everywhere under the sun. T is for Transatlantic, as we were stolen, kidnapped, enslaved for so long, all over the world where we did not belong. I is for injustice against African humanity, the crime never solved or resolved, how the colonizer has kept us prisoners to the corrupt systems from education to governance and beyond. C is for citizenship. Citizenship, not the ship our ancestors were enslaved on or thrown off ships, chained together, disposed of as excess cargo at the bottom of the sea. Torn away from your family, your culture, your history, never again to be free. Now we return, we have to wait and debate and create an automatic citizenship bill to rejoin our long-lost family. Thank you.
Organization that's been, forefronting for reparation and repatriation via our leader, who is Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edward, who was an upfront freedom fighter, in terms of repatriation and reparation. Now, I'd like to start off with a little story that I'd like to tell, We were a family living in the shores of Africa, and imagine one morning you wake up and you miss your son, your daughter, your cousin, your nephew, a family member has been snatched away by someone you've never known. That person's been taken millions of miles away, dropped across desert sands, in chains and shackles, taken on ships, beaten, ill-treated in every manner. The treatment as well at home of the family that's been left in disarray as well. Because what you would realize is, when you miss a family member, someone puts a search out for that person in today's society. If someone goes missing, we'll go to the police and we'll say, well, this family member is missing and that family member, we couldn't do that with the transatlantic slave trade. And so they stole millions of us and took us into the West Indies and Caribbean and Americas. The family at home that's left in the Gambia, Ghana, Ethiopia, Nigeria, African continent must have felt that pain much as well as we have. The person that's been on that journey, taking that journey on the ships, reaching these newfound islands, never gave up hope. We never forgot our people. We never forgot our land. We may have lost our language, which has created some communication barriers, but our ancestors never, ever forgot. I remind you of one person from the Gambia, Kunta Kinte. We have Kunta Kinte Island there. And, Alex Haley came back years after. He was the great, grandson of Kunta Kinte. And he found his roots that brought him back home to Africa. An alligator that is born in an alligator pond, a lion that is born in an alligator pond, still a lion, no matter where he goes under the face of the earth. You wouldn't call it an alligator because it's born in the pond. We are Africans as well, taken from our culture and our heritage. And repatriation is first knowing where you come from. It starts in the mind. You have to know where you come from as a people to know where you're going. That gave us the direction that our ancestors that were back in the Caribbean islands taught us of Africa, whatever little was retained in them, because it was forced out by whip, beating, brutalization, rape, We're now returning back home because we're now finding our roots and we're finding our way back home. We've always felt like the fish out of the water in the West because, as it says, West Indies, Indians, that's not our culture. We're Africans, Caribbeans. Caribs, again, are the major people of those islands that we were taken into, whom those same people that gave us colonialism killed those people out to have us work their plantations in canes and other things for them to, have. We have so much to share amongst ourselves. We are bringing things home into Africa. And the African in the home has so much to teach us as well, because we've lost so much. We've lost a lot of our culture. And we now, as Juliet's poem says, need to sit and debate, our citizenship, but we are Africans. So already, from you look at me, you can tell I'm an African. The only difference is I've lost some of my culture, which I'm now coming to reclaim, We would expect our family to open arms and welcome us back home. Welcome home, my brother. Welcome home, my sister, It's hard sometimes just to say it, because when the colonial governments left Africa, what they really did was put certain things in place because they didn't feel that we could govern ourselves as a people. So they put certain things in place to keep those people that are coming home from not returning. And some of those laws are still there in place that's been left by colonial masters. We as a people, as a family, need to sit together and look at some of these laws and say, is this good for the African? Is this good for Gambia? Would this uplift the Gambia? Because in England and other places, there's some places you cannot go as a black man and buy a land. It's not given, it's not allowed. They're saving that for their generation that's coming after them. We have to now do the same, and work as one people. Now, reparation, our leader teaches us that reparation is not only money. And if we are going to be agitating for repatriation and reparation, we would want repatriation to come first. Because we would then need to return home on the soil of Africa. And then we would want the reparation in order to assist, to build roads and schools and hospitals. Because it's not only about money, because they didn't take money. When they were taking and breaking down Africa, they broke down our institutions that we had, our high institutions of learning. They took our books and they burned a lot of our books, So they tore our schools down, our places of medical, that we had. So we now need to say repatriation after reparation, so that when we are home, we can sit together as a people and say we need roads here, we need hospitals, we need schools, so that we can build it. This is reparation. This is the reparation we are talking about. It's not only monetary. There's so much damage they have done, that we need to look at it in this manner, as a family. And I keep saying as a family because we are family, lots of people keep missing the point, But we are one people coming from one mother, one father. We are birthed out of the womb of Africa. There's so much more I could say. We should be compensated by all of those European governments that took people out of Africa forcefully, against our will. We didn't want to go. That's why some of us jumped off into the sea, trying to come back home, and was eaten by sharks. Because when they reached the West Indies, we fought. There was revolution every time. We never made the colonizer feel like we've got them. We always tried to get away, up to today. And that's why we're here, because we are now escaping their system and coming home. And as I said, we expect that welcome, because we're expecting you to teach us a lot. Our parents that we have left for so many years, we are now returning to your sons and daughters. I'll make it brief. Thank you.
One nation, one Africa. Thank you, BlaXit family. Please keep watching and remember, follow your dreams.
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.